Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those WHO love me. Because let's be honest, WHO does today. I want to talk about kindness should not come at the cost of self-respect. Being kind is a beautiful trait. It shows empathy, compassion, and a good heart. But when kindness becomes a habit of sacrificing your own needs, values, and boundaries just to please others, it starts to chip away at your self-respect. Too often, people confuse kindness with self-abandonment. They say yes when they mean no. They tolerate mistreatment, and they overextend themselves for others out of fear of being disliked or judged. That's not kindness, that's self-neglect. True kindness is rooted in strength, not submission. It comes from a place of confidence and self-awareness, not guilt or insecurity. You don't owe anyone your time, your energy, or your peace if they don't honor it. When you constantly put others before yourself, you teach them that your needs don't matter. You begin to feel resentment, frustration, and burnout. And that's the opposite of what kindness is supposed to feel like. Respect yourself enough to say no when you need to. Walk away from those who drain you. Choose kindness, but never let it cost you your voice, your worth, or your identity. Because when you respect yourself, the right people will respect you too. And that's when kindness becomes powerful. Being kind to all can make you a target for manipulation. While kindness is a powerful and admirable quality, offering it freely to everyone without discernment can leave you vulnerable to those who seek to exploit it. Manipulative people are often skilled at identifying kind-hearted individuals who are eager to help, reluctant to say no, and afraid to disappoint. They see your kindness not as a strength, but as a weakness they can use to their advantage. Over time, they begin to test your boundaries, make unreasonable demands, and guilt-trip you into doing things that serve their interests, not yours. You may find yourself constantly giving, constantly accommodating, and constantly drained, wondering how you ended up feeling used and unappreciated. The hard truth is that not everyone has good intentions. Some people will take your kindness and twist it into a tool for their own gain. That's why it's crucial to pair kindness with discernment. Be kind, but don't be blind. Pay attention to how people respond to your generosity. Do they appreciate it, or do they expect it? Protect your time, your heart, and your energy. Kindness without boundaries is a setup for manipulation. But kindness with wisdom, that's a force no one can take advantage of. Not everyone deserves your kindness. Protect your energy. Your kindness is a gift, and like all valuable things, it should be given with care. Not everyone who smiles at you has good intentions. Some people will only take what they can get and leave you empty, wondering why you feel so drained despite doing the right thing. That's because kindness, when given without limits or discernment, can become a magnet for those who feed off your good nature. You have to understand this truth. Not everyone deserves your kindness. Some people will mistake your compassion for weakness, your forgiveness for permission, and your willingness to help as an invitation to exploit you. Protecting your energy means learning how to say no without guilt, walking away from those who only take, and recognizing when your kindness is no longer respected but expected. You owe it to yourself to set boundaries that keep your peace intact. Your time, love, and support are sacred. Save them for the people who truly value you, who reciprocate, and who uplift your spirit, not those who weigh it down. Kindness is powerful, but only when it's rooted in self-respect. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does that. Your time, energy, and love are valuable. Treat them as such. In a world that often demands more than we have to give, it's crucial to recognize the immense value of your time, energy, and love. These aren't limitless resources, they're precious, finite, and irreplaceable. Time is something you can never get back. Once a moment is gone, it's lost forever. Similarly, your energy is the force that drives your actions, your passions, and your well-being. If you're constantly pouring it into things and people that don't nourish you, you'll find yourself depleted and unfulfilled. And then there's your love, the most powerful force within you. It has the potential to heal, to inspire, to transform. But when given to the wrong people or situations, it can be taken for granted and abused. When you treat your time, energy, and love as valuable, you begin to prioritize what truly matters. You set boundaries to protect your peace and well-being. You learn to invest in relationships and endeavors that align with your values, bringing you joy, growth, and mutual respect. By treating these resources with care, you create a life filled with purpose and balance. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Protect what fuels you. Learn the difference between kindness and people-pleasing. Kindness and people-pleasing may seem similar on the surface, but they come from vastly different places and have very different impacts on your life. Kindness is a genuine, selfless act of compassion given freely to others without the expectation of anything in return. It comes from a place of strength, knowing that you are offering something that can help, uplift, or inspire others. Kindness doesn't drain you because it's aligned with your values, and it's given without any sense of obligation or fear. People-pleasing, on the other hand, stems from insecurity and a deep fear of rejection or conflict. People-pleasers constantly seek approval, often sacrificing their own needs, desires, and boundaries to make others happy. They say yes when they mean no, and they overextend themselves in ways that lead to burnout and resentment. The problem with people-pleasing is that it doesn't respect your own limits, and it allows others to take advantage of your time, energy, and goodwill. The key difference is that kindness respects both others and yourself, while people-pleasing only seeks external validation, often at the expense of your own well-being. Learning this distinction is essential to living a balanced, healthy, and authentic life. True strength is in saying no when needed. In a world that often pushes you to say yes to every request, every invitation, and every opportunity, true strength lies in having the courage to say no when it's necessary. Saying no isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of self-respect, clarity, and self-awareness. It means understanding that your time, energy, and emotional bandwidth are limited, and that you must protect them in order to prioritize what truly matters. When you say yes to everything, you dilute your focus and stretch yourself thin, leaving little room for the things that align with your values or contribute to your personal growth. True strength comes from recognizing that not every request is your responsibility, and not every situation is worth your involvement. Saying no means you are not afraid to set boundaries, stand up for your needs, and preserve your peace. It also allows you to focus on what aligns with your goals, passions, and well-being, rather than being pulled in directions that drain or distract you. Saying no is not about rejecting others. It's about affirming yourself. It's a declaration that you value your time and energy, and that you're not willing to give them away to anything or anyone that doesn't serve your higher purpose.